And I am going to add a new ticker that says high interest savings account. So a lot of people are asking me how to get started in real estate investing. And one of the the main things that is going on is that it's almost impossible to make a good play in investing by borrowing other people's money. And everybody says, "Oh, invest with other people's money," yada yada yada, and it's very difficult to make play if the bank is getting 80% of the money. And you're only getting to keep 20% of the money at best, and you're taking all the risk. I mean, that is the worst thing that you can do. And a lot of people don't understand it, and it's a very simple business in building wealth. And a lot of people don't understand how simple it really is. Oh, I need to have a bunch of money. I need to be doing this, that, or the other thing. And, really it's very simple. But it's hard. And, that is the problem. And anyone that would like to get invited in on this live, just hit me up in a message on Facebook, and I'll bring you in. But the the topic tonight that we're going to talk about is high interest rate banking. And so I'm going to I'm going to show you this. I'll show you this house really quick. This is an old farmhouse that I bought, and it's going through renovation right now. But this is a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, and it sits on an acre of mown grass with all these mature trees around the background. And slowly it's getting renovated and renewed, and it gets more valuable all the time. And if you can see, this is kind of the beginnings of how it looked when I bought it. But full disclosure, and there's property right there. And it's got a storm shelter on it, plenty of room for a garage. But full disclosure, let's look at how much I paid for the thing. I sold it, or I bought it on August 5th, 2021. So we've had it for a couple of years, a little bit longer, but we have had it rented for about $700 a month. And $895 a month to the last tenant. As we go through this next reno, we're going to find a price for the new tenant, but I think that is going to be north of $1,000 probably. And there's the last renter at $895, but I don't know if there's not a Zillow on this property, but I would say this house probably doubled. And there's no Z estimate on here because It's listed for rent. So it doesn't show that it is, but it is rented. But, 65,000 bucks and we've made probably 40,000, $30,000 in 2 years on it. But this is because the property was paid in cash and we've been able to work with it. So it's saying it's worth 80,000. I don't know how correct that is. But the problem is with the interest rates, things are appearing much lower than they really are because it's a time in America that is really good for renting and not so good for owning. And what that means is we need to get together as humans and form these LLCs to where, 3 or 4 people or maybe 5 get together with $20,000 each and then they buy one of these properties cash. And then you have partners that are not the bank, they're your friends and your business partners. But that means that y'all have to save your money. And this is really important. And this is the next topic that I want to talk about is high interest savings accounts. And you have whatever money you have is in your bank account. And this is really important. If you could see this, your normal bank is making 0.01 to 0.35 on the money in your account. But the high interest accounts are giving you 3% to 4%. Right now, I know that Marcus with Goldman Sachs, Marcus is the one. I really like this bank. And you connect this bank after you make it to your Marcus account, and it's 4.4%. And which means if you have 100,000 bucks, you're getting like 350 a month in interest. And the important thing about that I want to tell you guys is, generally it takes about 3 days to transfer money up to your Marcus account and about 3 days to get it back down. So your money is sitting there and it's 6 days away generally, and you could have your money back. And like this CD is 12 months, you got to have your money tied up. So what I'm telling people, or what I do, what I suggest for my kids to do, okay, is get one of these online savings accounts and put away your money that you're going to eventually invest in your house, your income producing rental house that you buy with your group of friends. And believe me, if you message me and you've got 4 or 5 people you want to do this with, I will do a show. I can add up to 8 people on this format, and we will talk about how to form the LLC and how to look for the properties, how to find a $50,000 house, how to get it, made up, and how to get it rented and get it producing revenue. just like I've shown you guys on a lot of my houses. But and I will show you all of what I'm doing on all of my houses. And the only reason that I really care about doing that is so people can realize they can do it themselves. But you have to save your money. So if you open up one of these online savings accounts, I think Marcus is a good one. I think let's look at the other ones, and I'll tell you if I have an opinion on any of them. And this is Best Money is saying SoFi is good. I guess they give you $250 with a qualifying deposit. Citibank, I've been with them before, 3.45 annual. There's good choices. I know about Marcus, and I've had a really good experience with them. I think I had Citibank, and I didn't have such a great experience with them transferring money around. Was a problem, I think. But anyways, start an account with $100 and then start looking around for money. Clean out the cushions on the couch and put that money in there. This is not money that we're playing with. This is not money available to fix, tires on the car with. This is other money. That four-wheeler that you bought that you shouldn't have bought, sell it. And if, a lot of my guy friends are going to, kill me for this, but if you have a sports car, sell it. If you have a motorcycle, keep it. But if you have a second motorcycle, sell that one. Sell all your crap and get ready to get 5 people together, save $20,000, buy a income producing property and get it rented out. Depending on where you live, you may have to do this out of town. Like for instance, I am doing a lot of investing in Oklahoma because I like it. And if we look at Drumright, Oklahoma, here is a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom house for $60,000. And if you are a student of mine, then you are knowledgeable of the percentage rate that we do on properties that we buy for investments, and that is 1% of our all-in purchase price is the monthly rental rate. And if that number is 1% or greater, we have a good value. And that means if this little house, which is 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, which is kind of cute actually, could you rent this to someone in Drumright, Oklahoma, for $600 a month? I say yes, especially if we put high-speed internet to work in this particular house, and the person that is working from home in, say, Denver or somewhere in California, and they're paying, $3,000, $2,500 a month. If you can work from home and keep your same job and live in this environment, you can pay off your student loans, you pay off your credit cards, pay off all your superfluous debt, and there you go. And they could rent the house from us for $650. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. So the trick is save up your money and then go looking for a house that you can make work with your friends and family and make it work. Again, let's look at where I'm from. Let's look at house in Denver, Colorado, and let's look for as similar a house as we can find. And we're going to say 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom to try and get that in there. Here's a house for $399,000. That's a different market. However, if we bought this house for $400,000, if we apply our rate of 1%, could you rent this house in Denver for $4,000 a month? I say no. Even in a ridiculous market like Denver, you know, people are not going to pay that for a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom house. They're just not going to. And if we do a little bit of further research, we can look for this house configuration 1/1 for rent. And always remember, if it's on here for rent, it's priced too high, because the ones that are priced correctly are gone already. You know, if it gets past 1 day, that's it. It's gone. So here is 1 by 1 in Denver, and it is $18.95. And you can't make a reasonable living not getting 1% on your rentals. Maybe in some areas you start at a 0.8 and move the rental into the 1%. But if you're starting off at 0.5 of purchase price, then you're dead in the water, as far as I'm concerned. So, you know, you may have to live in Denver, but you may have to look for other areas of the country to invest in. In my case, I've chosen Oklahoma because Oklahoma is safe and the people are nice. They don't tax your Social Security, and there's not a lot of funny business going on. And I'm achieving the 1% rental rates, or 0.8 in the more popular places that I'm buying in Oklahoma, and it's working out well for me. And again, I can show you my exact houses I bought and my things that I'm doing. The houses prices are growing here in Oklahoma. Norman is just a really good city with the college and everything. You end up with some really nice houses for the price. This is $200,000, 73071 zip code, which I really like that zip code. I don't like carpet very much, to be honest with you. I've been doing this laminate flooring. But this little galley kitchen could use some work. So this is a basic house. I don't know why people choose the colors they do sometimes. But the little backyard with storm shelter, little patio back there. You know, is this house going to rent out for $2,000 in 73071 in Norman at 1,200 square foot? No, it's not. This house is going to rent for maybe $1,300. So this house is priced too high, but you know, everything's gonna go on sale, because people that need to sell an empty house like this are gonna have to wait, because there's no buyers. You know, there are no buyers that need financing that are buying houses. So eventually something like this is going to sell for $180,000, something like that, because they have to get rid of it. and it's closer to the true sale. So if we look for rent in Norman, and we look for houses for rent, this is 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom at 1,400 square foot. The last one we looked at was 1,200 square foot, and there's a 3x2. 3x2. Here's the exact match. 6 days ago, 3x2, nice little house. This looks like that house that was for sale for $200,000 or whatever it was. It's renting at $1,395 a month. And remember, the rule is, how long's it been on here? This thing's been on here for 6 days. So what does that mean? You know, somebody could have snapped it up if it was the bargain of the century. And this is also not in 73071. This is in 73069. You know, and I always try to find out how close it is to the university when I'm buying in Norman, because you want to be close to the destination. We're going to add destination as OU. Let's do OU campus. See if it gives us University of Oklahoma. 12 minutes to the college. And not necessarily that we want to rent to college kids. However, staff, people that work there, that's good. Another thing that you want to do whenever you're looking for some of this stuff is grab the address of the property that you're thinking about buying. And I always throw it in maps. And then I want to take a look at, what's going on in the neighborhood. Norman North High School, that's pretty cool. There's a park right here. I like that. That house backs right up to, it looks like green space. That Norman Masonic Lodge, I've been inside that. I had the absolute pleasure of taking one of the guys that lived around my neighborhood to his last Masonic meeting before he passed. And what a great guy he was, Chaplain Paul. And we went to this Masonic Lodge 38, and the guys were just really super nice to Paul. I really appreciate the brothers over there. But if you can get a house that is going to back up on this open space, this is a great house near the high school. Then I back out and I try to look, where we're going to shop for food, and there's the local YMCA, and I like to figure out what is going on, not only where is it close to, but this particular area there's a lot of shopping over here. If we look at what's going on over by this hotel, there is a bunch of, there's a Lowe's and some different things going on in this area. The Sooner Mall is right here, but the mall is not really the thing. Here's a Home Depot right here. The malls have kind of gone by the wayside, but the outdoor malls are good. But find out what's going around your property to see if it's a good long-term fit, schools, that kind of thing. And we will be able to look at what's affordable. So in this case, in Norman, we want to buy something that's a 0.8 that's going to grow into a 1%. So, if I switch this back to looking for places to buy, in Norman, then I'm going to switch this from low to high. And I don't know why it keeps shifting to apartments and multifamily. That's part of the Zillow thing. They know that there's more rents. That's crazy. They're helping out their own. But here's 2x1. I'm normally just going to be looking for 3x2s, but this is a very interesting situation here. Okay, so I don't know what this is, but this is suspicious to me because $169,000 for a 3x2, in Norman, there's got to be something that's going on with this. Yeah, it's a little too far. Yeah, it's a half an hour away from the university in the Thunderbird area. And I don't know if something's wrong with this. This is not the right price for this house right now. Yeah, this is in the woods. Yeah. I think, yeah. This is not what I invest in for income property. It's too far away. So a lot of times when this happens, yeah, is this Norman? Yes, it's not. Nobody's going to rent this house for $1,300 a month and then drive a half an hour to an hour. This is not a good rental house, as far as I'm concerned, for me. So if you run across this and you're searching that one locality and we get Norman, we might want to go and do, 73071. That zip code is Norman. And it is, I think, probably the second most valuable zip code, even though it's the zip code I live in. This is kind of the sweet spot for Norman. So if we look at a 3x2 in Norman in that zip code, this is 2 days on market, and 1,300 square, 3x2. Would this rent for 1,300? I think so. Yeah, I think it would. And it looks to me like you've got a vaulted ceiling, which is very cool. And I love that. I think I own a house in this neighborhood. I'll have to see, because this is a similar setup to another house that I own. My house had this wall removed, but if I'm not mistaken, this backs up to an open space if it's on the right side of the street. But this 3x2, this is really a decent buy. I like this house. I'm going to save this house. Yeah, this is I own a house just like this. And it is detached garage in the back. My detached garage on the house that I own is in the front, but still super good. You got a little deck on the back of this. This is a decent house right here. And as a matter of fact, I will go here and I'll show you guys my house on Lafayette. Same house. Only my garage is on the front. That's very interesting. Let's do a flyby on this house and see, where it is. And like I said, we like to go to the Google Maps. And that's crazy. The house I just showed you guys backs up to this open space. And my Lafayette house, 2125 Lafayette, is just right in the same neighborhood as this thing. Only difference is this doesn't back up to that open space. And here's the Norman High School outdoor facility. This open space is not going to go anywhere. And this Irving Middle School, one of my tenants that lives in a different neighborhood around here, walks to Irving to work his job. That's a good one. I think and this area is super nice. Campus Corner right there. And let's see what it says about whether or not how close it is to the university. 10 minutes, which is super good. I think the only drawback on this little property is that there's no gas. This is all electric baseboard heat on this house. And so that's probably the only drawback. But I am going to send this house to one of the very, very best people that I love in real estate, Andrea Dillard. And I'm going to ask see what she thinks on this. But this is a very good this is a very good example of an up and coming house in a great area. And the numbers work on this house. If you paid full list on this house, you would be close to 1%. And I like that. This house is going to rent for $1,300, $1,400, depending. if it's a first generation remodel, you know, we'll have to look at what's going on. My house in that neighborhood rents for $14.50, but it's completely been gone through. The wall's been moved, and it has luxury plank vinyl and new paint and renovated bathrooms, all that kind of stuff. So this may be 1,200. You always have to mix your rental value, you know, with the quality of the place and the quality of the renter. So if the house is a little rough and you want to have top flight tenant, it's got to be cheap, you know. And if it's A1 property, you still got to be cheaper than the other guys to get the best renter. But if you want to do some quick math on this, if we could get a 1, which I really don't care about, I would probably rent this property while we're fixing things up. I would probably rent this property for 11, maybe 10.5, 11, and I would allow the renter to have a dog, and I would get rid of that thing, whatever it is. But people love this lofted concept, and I might look into opening that up. I maybe not. I don't know. But if we went and we said with expenses, we were in this for 140, say. So 140,000. Let me do a calculator. Calculator. So if we do 140,000, we had 4 investors that wanted to get involved in this as a rental property, as a group, and their own LLC. Everybody brings $35,000 to the table, and we've got a really nice rental home in an area that is absolutely, you know, in good shape. And the other place that we want to look is for Facebook Marketplace. And we want to look for Marketplace, and we're going to look at North 73071 Norman, and 10-mile radius. And we're going to look for property rentals, and we're going to shop by houses for rent. And there's 3x2 in Oklahoma City. See, I don't know why they're not separating these out. Moore is a great area, but it's not Norman. So we're going to look in a 2-mile radius of Norman and get rid of a lot of these. Ours has a 1-car, oversized 1-car. They call it a 2-car, but it's not. But if we look at this house, an investor is renting this house for $1,350 a month, and they're offering half off. They're doing a Section 8 play, which, you know, you have to know what you're doing with that. Irving Middle School. This is in our same neighborhood. about 1,300, against 140. That's a good deal. That's in the range that we like. Here's a 3x2 that seems like a really nice little house, and dog and cat friendly, listed 5 days ago. This will get rented. This house at $1,000 is a very good deal, and this will get rented. And again, you've got to think about who are the people that are going to be renting, and how do we get the best ones. And obviously, if the house is good and the price is good, the people with good credit scores and good jobs are going to pick the cheapest house that they can get. So you got to romance the good tenants a little bit with price and quality. So the higher you get on your house, the further away from the perfect tenant you're going to have. So it's just that simple. And here is the map overlook of this house. And it looks like pretty good looking neighborhood. This is kind of crazy, this wilderness park right here. How far away are we from Norman? There's that hotel we like, and there's Campus Corner. So this is pretty close. And whoever's renting that house for $1,000, that's a good buy. That won't stay long on the market. They're looking for a good tenant, and I like that. That's the way I like the business to be run too. Let's look at 1,100. That's 4 by 4.5 baths. That's a townhome. I don't know what the heck that is. Why do you have so many bathrooms? That's 4 bathrooms in a 4-bedroom house. All bills paid. I don't. What? I'd have to investigate that. That doesn't seem right. But we only do houses. Our investment firm only does houses. We don't ever have an HOA. We don't ever get involved in any of that. We want to do what we want to do. Also, multi-doors are not good. And the reason I say this one thing to everybody when I talk about that, if you have 4 doors and you have 4 tenants and one tenant has bed bugs, then you're buying hotel rooms for all 4 people instead of one group of people that actually brought the bed bugs into the house. So if you want to invite problems into your life, get multi-doors. If you encapsulate everything to just one family per house, and if you got one problematic renter, you got one problematic renter. Otherwise you've got a whole herd of people that are upset. Here's 3x1. I don't like 1 bathroom houses, but $179. This is overpriced, but it's gonna be headed north, or south price wise and north rent wise. But there's a lot of people that are having a hard time figuring out that the houses are going down in price temporarily because of the interest rates. However, if you have cash, and this is the main thing, if you have cash, you're in a situation that you can buy the homes right now while they're on sale and rent them out at higher than market rents, because those people that can't buy the houses need to rent them. and they're good qualified people that normally would buy if the interest rates were not where they're at. But they're going to be renters for a couple, 2 or 3 years, and that's an important thing to recognize. Also, if you follow my guidelines and you're cash only, then you can handle it if the rents come down with the recession that we're going to be in, and we're going to be in deep recession 2024, 2025, maybe into 2026. It's going to be very hurtful depression, and everything is going to fall. But if you're all cash, you can rent your house for $1,350 for the next couple of years, and then if the price that it takes to get the good renter is $900, you'll be able to respond to that market. Yes, we'll be making a little bit less every month, but we won't have to rent to people that are not desirable, because if somebody rents something and they could buy it, that's not a good choice for a renter, because right now with the interest rates, these houses that we're making 1% on rents because we're cash buyers would cost, and I'm running long on time, but I'm gonna go ahead and do I'm gonna do this again, and let's just say that the house is available for mortgage calculator. Let's just say that the house is $140,000, and we're putting 3% down, and the interest is 8.5 in 30-year fixed for Oklahoma, with a decent credit score. We're at $1,300 a month. So that follows about right for what I was saying of wanting to be at 0.8 for that house at that price. And when we grow into the 1 point territory, so really it's an $1,100 house if we want to attract really good renters. And we have to follow that curve down a little bit to maintain good renters. And some of these houses, I mean, that one we found it for $140, I said it was a good deal, and I think it's a good deal. But a lot of them that we saw were $200,000, and now if we're trying to rent a $200,000 place, it's $1,895. And let's go into the future and say, oh, we want to rent our house for $2,200, and the purchase equivalent of whatever that house is $1,898. And you're like, well, if you're a renter and you could buy, why are you renting? Why are you doing that? And that needs to be a good answer, because everywhere in the country right now, it's cheaper to rent than it is to buy. And you want your renters to be future buyers. They have good credit, they care about their credit, they pay for their bills. And I want to give those type of people a deal. And, I want to be price competitive to give them a good deal. So if they could buy the house for $1,400 a month, I'm going to rent it to them for $1,100. And they're getting a deal on renting. They're going to save their money, and they're going to go through the process, and they are going to graduate from renting my place to buying their own home. And that's a relationship that I want to have with my tenants and my customers. And you've got good people taking care of your house and not doing bad things. So Just remember, we go by the numbers when we buy aggressively. And if we have to shift our price down, we do. But if you have a bank loan and you're renting your house out for $1,400 a month, and your bank note is 12, and then the market causes us to drop the price to 9 to attract those good renters, well, now all of a sudden you're renting your house for a loss of $300 a month to pay the bank, or you're probably going to rent your house for more than it's worth because of your bank loan. And guess what? Somebody's cooking meth in your house. And now you got a meth house. Now you got a problem. You've got an eviction thing. You absolutely don't want to have the wrong people in your house for the highest price. And if you have to get the highest price, you are probably inviting a problem into your property. And the credit's going to tell you what it is. They're going to have bad credit. They're going to have bad background. They're going to have bad eviction history. And if you don't check all that stuff, then you're really going to have a problem. So make a little bit less every month to have good tenants that take care of the place and mitigate a lot of the risk. But you have to be all cash with you and your partners. And I don't care what happens. If you get 10 people together and they all put in 10 grand, and then you make a combine where you're going to buy these houses and invest in this real estate, perfect. You know, you're all doing what you can do, and you're gaming the system against what they want. They want the banker to make all the money and you to take all the risk. And that's how the system is set up. So I'll do a whole show on that if anybody reaches out to me and they want me to do it. But they don't want you to own a home. They want the bank to own a home for you to rent the home. So if you can't afford a home in Denver, Colorado, you need to find somewhere else where you can at least own income property that you can afford while you're going up that escalator. So thank you all for watching. And this thing turned into an hour, but I think it was good content. And if you have any questions or you want me to go over something with you personally, reach out and get invested.